Doctors 30 Days, 30 Tips. Tonight is Tuesday, the 10th of August, 2021. I forget which episode we're up to, but this one is sure to be exciting for many providers in the industry. So, I guess, providers all around the country have been hearing me say, beware of breaches of Section 8 of the ESOS Act and tighten your enrolment processes so that you make sure that under no circumstances do you enroll any international students or prospective international students on a student visa under the ESOS Act. There were many providers who were being captured in ASQA audits around the country at various times for exactly that, breaches of Section 8 of the ESOS Act, which means that you cannot offer courses to international students on a student visa without being CRICOS registered. So, of course, there was a lot of money invested by many providers around the country in ensuring that their enrolment systems captured whether or not an international student or a prospective international student under the ESOS Act might attempt to enroll in courses. In fact, there were some providers who had even identified that they had accidentally enrolled international students in full qualifications without being registered on CRICOS, although they identified it themselves and not through the regulator. But I can assure you there were plenty of providers who did get captured by the regulator saying you cannot deliver these programs to international students because you're not CRICOS registered. Well, for a little while, I believe it was last year, there were some rumours going around, and I actually wrote an article on LinkedIn about this in relation to ASQA accepting applications for CRICOS registration for short courses. But under the ESOS regulations, it's not actually possible for a short course to be registered on CRICOS. And so if you have a look at the article that I wrote on LinkedIn, and I'll put it in the comments, you'll see that I discuss in there why that was such a big issue at that particular time. Students were providers were trying to enroll students. Sorry, that was my crutches. For those of you who don't know, I currently have a broken foot in two places. My foot is in a moon boot, and that was my crutches that just fell on the floor. I was trying to sneakily hide them beside me, but you caught me out. Back to Section 8 ESOS Act issues. So I'll put the article in the comments, and from there, you'll see what I was talking about. But basically, there were these providers who were being approached by international students on student visas to enroll in individual courses, and they could not issue COEs, but they had actually applied for and been granted CRICOS registration for those courses. How do I know? I know because the people came to me asking for PRISMS training because they'd just been registered for that particular purpose. So lo and behold, on the 3rd of March this year, Minister Tudge made an adjustment or an amendment to the ESOS Act. That particular change at that time was to change the definition of the word course in the ESOS Act, and that then allowed them to bring in these new changes that were brought in on the 25th of June 2021, whereby providers are now able to enroll students in short courses or single units of competency without being CRICOS registered, and you will not be in breach of the Section 8 of the ESOS Act. Now, of course, there is a limitation to the number of short courses that apply under these exemptions, and they are listed at Schedule 1, and they are good for the sector in the sense that international students will be able to now apply to get these licenses or permits to be able to enhance their ability to work, basically. So we're talking about things like white card, first aid, using hygienic practices for food safety, barista. We're talking about things like RSA, RSG, responsible services in alcohol, responsible service of gambling, manual handling type units, transporting and storing chemicals. And we've also got license to operate a forklift truck. So there's a whole range of, and infection control. There's a range of infection control units there. All of these units are in line with Australia's capacity to move forward in skill shortage areas, particularly in relation to hospitality, tourism, aged care services, and in transport and manufacturing. So one of the things that I just wanted to bring to your attention was that you no longer have to be registered on CRICOS to be able to enroll students in these courses. You would enroll them like you would enroll any normal student, any normal domestic student, and there will be no penalty for you. So I'm going to keep it short and sweet tonight because it is census night, and I know that everybody's got to go and jump online and complete those forms. Statistics are supposedly important for our country. But that was the good news that I wanted to bring to you tonight. And the tip in 30 Days, 30 Tips is that although for many years I've been suggesting to providers they needed to find ways to prevent students from enrolling in their short courses if they're international students, you can now remove everything that you put in place for years. And you can take in as many international students on a student visa as you like in those courses that are on the exemption list. I'll also put that list in the comments for you to access so that you can take a look for yourself. But in a time where we've been talking about resuming business practices and looking at our business plan again and financial viability of some courses and whether we are still interested in doing what we're doing and not putting all of our eggs in one basket. They're the things we've been talking about for the last few nights. It's great to be able to have another avenue of income, particularly not just for RTOs, but particularly for international students on a student visa who for 18 months have been stuck here and unable to work properly. They've been unable to get home. They've suffered some quite serious financial viability issues themselves in their capacity to remain in Australia with very little assistance from the governments. So there you have it. I'll put the links in the comments and go ahead and enjoy enrolling as many international students as you can in those short courses. Have a lovely evening. Don't forget your census and bye for now.